The rural Malay heartlands have become key battlegrounds in these state elections. The unity government has been courting voters living under the Federal Land Development Authority or Felda resettlement schemes with promises of debt reduction.
Analysts say playing up the Felda settlers' debt could help shore up support. Melissa Go has more.
Nasir Ibrahim belongs to the first generation of settlers under the state-owned land plantation scheme called Felda. A father of 8, Nasir says the Felda community is no longer a vote bank for UMNO-led Barisan Nasional coalition.
Dulu memang total betul. Mana saya pun dulu bekas ketua UMNO juga kan. Kalau dulu dia memang kuat. Sekarang kita tengok dah menurun. Pasal apa? Orang muda sekarang dia punya lain cara dia.
About 30% of the 800,000 odd registered voters in Negeri Sembilan state are from the Felda community. But almost half now live outside the settlements in major cities. And many have become supporters of the opposition coalition Perikatan Nasional.
Most of them is our stronghold, our fixed deposit in Barisan Nasional before. But lately, of course, few of this Felda area been influenced by the opposition party. But now we try our level best to serve them, to make sure every settlers, either the first generation, second and the third generation, it is under government radar.
There are about 8 so-called Felda seats with huge settlements of thousands of planters and their families in Negeri Sembilan. Now, the scheme that began in the 60s was meant to lift the rural Malays out of poverty and provide them with a source of livelihood. But now, settlers and their children are complaining about their welfare not being taken care of. And some lament that they will always be indebted under the scheme.
Part of the debts were accumulated when Felda farmers borrowed heavily to participate in the listing of Felda Global Ventures in 2012. Most of the investments resulted in losses, despite the then UMNO government promise of good returns.
Semua pemimpin-pemimpin saya tahu apa yang dia buat. Siapa yang betul, siapa yang tak betul. Dia sekarang ni Felda dia tolong bank. Ini broker-broker bila dah berhutang dia akan berhutang sampai matilah. Senang sebut. Lepas dia mati, besok anak dia pula ikut mati. Lepas masa tu cucu mati.
In a bid to get the support from rural Malays recently, Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's administration wrote off $1.8 billion of debts held by Felda land settlers. The opposition, Perikatan Nasional, also claimed credit for the move.
Felda voters, they do understand now how our chairman Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin has helped them before. We can say that UMNO voters are now with Perikatan Nasional. That is so clear.
The claims and counterclaims on who's responsible for helping Felda settlers reflected the importance of their votes.
I hope that the Felda votes will come back to Barisan Nasional and also to the unity government.
Having received low support from Malay voters in the general election last November, Pakatan Harapan is counting on UMNO to shore up support from these voters.
I've been here for 2 terms, for 10 years. That was before we got the UMNO crowd to come to our program. But today, the UMNO machinery came and you have created a lot of synergy. We are just aiming to protect our own turf, to defend our own constituency. If we can defend our own constituency, then it will be a clean sweep of 36 seats.
With campaigning nearly done and dusted, analysts say a united BN and PH machinery may be what the new alliance needs to stay in power. Melissa Go, CNA, Negeri Sembilan.